When you're selling your house, a lot of people don't realize that once you receive an offer, if you counter that offer because you don't like something in there, that's actually a rejection, and that buyer can walk away. I'll tell you a little story that'll show just what the implications of that are. I once had a friend who was selling a house. She got a wonderful offer, perfect offer, everything she wanted, but the buyers asked for the refrigerator. And she loved that refrigerator, don't ask me why. So she said, Beth, can we counter that offer and just say that the refrigerator's not included? And I said, are you sure you want to do that? Oh yeah, no problem. So we did a counter offer back, just excluding the refrigerator, and guess what? The buyer had second thoughts. Another house had come on the market. They went to look at that one, and they said, you know what? We're going to buy this other house. And now my friend had no offer over a refrigerator. Don't buy your house back for a refrigerator. I'm often asked, what are the top 3 mistakes that sellers make in this market? And I'm happy to share. Number 1 is they don't prep the house. This is probably one of the most important things you can do when you're selling. Make sure you have me or your real estate professional walk through that house and do everything they say. If they tell you to move the furniture, move that furniture. If they tell you to paint the room, paint the room. Trust me, it will pay off. Number 2 is sellers will overprice a house. That is the worst thing you can do. An overpriced house will sit on the market and sell for less than one that is properly priced. And that will often attract even multiple offers. And number 3 is sellers often won't let you in the house once they list the house. What I mean by that is all of a sudden they are busy during that day, they're working from home, they've got a baby who's napping at night, and they have a birthday party this weekend, plus their cousin from Oklahoma is coming to stay with them. So they don't want any showings. Don't be that seller. If you're going to be selling your house, make sure you time it so that the house is available to be seen and sold. Well, you've probably heard that interest rates are on the rise and that the real estate market is slowing down. In fact, some doomsayers are saying the market is crashing or headed for a crash, just like back in '08. Well, I can tell you right now that that is not true. Our market is very different. Back in '08, people had bought homes that they really could not afford. They also overfinanced and overleveraged themselves. In fact, there were even mortgages out there called liar loans. That's how bad the environment was. Right now, in 2023, we have a very strong market. The lenders have been very tight, and a lot of cash buyers have been out there. In fact, new stats I just saw from Keeping Current says that 68% of all homeowners in America right now have 50% equity or more, and 38% of all owned property in America is owned free and clear right now. So don't listen to the doomsayers. You've probably heard about the latte effect, right? That if you spend money on a latte every single day, by the end of the year, you've spent $1,000 roughly on coffee. Well, there's also the handbag effect or the shoe effect. I heard another agent do a video on this the other day, and it really hit me. She said, houses over handbags. You know, if you have that extra $250 or even $3,000 and you think, oh, I can afford those fancy shoes or I can afford that Louis Vuitton purse, you realize a $3,000 handbag is 1/3 of a down payment on a $300,000 house. Don't put your handbags over houses. Put your house over a handbag. Are you thinking of buying a home? If so, don't make the top 3 mistakes that most buyers make. Number 1, don't go looking at homes until you are pre-approved, or if you're paying cash, make sure you have your proof of funds ready and that you've talked to your financial advisor and or your attorney. Too often I see people go out, look at a home, fall in love with the house, want to write an offer, and then they have the brakes put on by their banker or their attorney. and then they're heartbroken because that house sells right from under them. So don't be that buyer. Make sure you're ready to buy before you ever go and look at a house. Number 2, don't waive your home inspection. I have a whole video on why, but trust me, don't do it. And number 3, don't underestimate your closing costs. So many buyers think that, oh, I just need my down payment. I've got my 10%, my 5%, I'm ready to go. Well, there's a lot of other costs involved with buying a house. You have to pay for your home inspection, radon test, homeowner's insurance, and if you're getting a mortgage, you're going to pay closing costs to your lender too. So don't make these 3 mistakes, and if you want professional help when you're looking for your new house, I'd love to be your realtor. Well, if you own property, you've probably received a mailing soliciting you to sell your property. You might have even gotten a check like I did the other week to buy my property. Don't fall for this scam. This check is about 60%, maybe even 50% of my property's value. And that's what they're counting on, that you, the property owner, won't know how much your property is worth, and you just want to get rid of it, so you'll call them and sell it to them for 50% or so of what it's worth. If you're thinking of selling, get an appraisal or call me, a professional realtor, to give you the true market value, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Are you a fan of plugins? If so, I'm begging you, please don't use them when you sell your house. Smell is so important. It's the first thing really that buyers notice when they walk into a home. How does it smell? Does it smell like home? That's why people sometimes even will bake chocolate chip cookies or an apple pie before showings. But if you have odors that you need to deal with, whether it be pet odors, smoke odors, mildew, you do not want to put plugins in that will just add another layer of fragrance over the odor that you already have. Plus, those plugins often will make the buyer nauseous, may give them a headache, and of course everyone wonders the minute they smell that plug-in and see it, what is the seller trying to cover up? So take my advice, if you're selling, do not use plugins. If I smell it, I can't sell it. A lot of people think when they're selling their home and they don't want to make any repairs that it would be a good idea to market that house as is. And they're very insistent about that, I find. They say, I want it in the description, I want it in the MLS, I want it in the flyers. This house is being sold as is. Well, guess what? That lowers your market value immediately. Because buyers always think, what's wrong with that house? Why is it being sold as is? Trust me, if you don't want to make any repairs, make that very clear to your agent. Your agent will make it clear to the other agents and buyers looking at the house, but don't put as is. That will just lower your market value, and you want to get top dollar. If you'd like other tips, contact me, Beth Jaworski with Shore West.